Another thing I'd like to show you is in this data tab, look at the dimensions. You can see that they are nicely ordered. For instance, customer name and segment are in customer folder. Order, date, order ID, ship date, ship mode are in order. And notice these are folders, whereas here we have a hierarchy. Country, state, city, postal code. And the advantage of that was earlier we were able to click on these pluses and minuses. So here we can see that we have this by state, just one dot per state, whereas I could then go down to a city level and go down to a postal code level. For instance, you can see, for instance, San Francisco has got multiple orders in different postcodes. And that's possible because it's a hierarchy. So in other words, the computer knows country, state, city, postal code. Now we've used hierarchies before. If we go back into our presentation that we were doing earlier, you can see that month is a hierarchy. We started off with year and then went down to quarter and then month. So we've already used hierarchies, we just need to set it up. So if you go into this by person worksheet, first thing you need to do, right and click and create folder. And we find we can't. Currently we are grouping, that is we are showing the fields by data source type. So we just need to change that by group by folder. And nothing seems to have changed, except now we can create a folder. So let's create the folder of, let's call it geometry. So there is our geometric folder. So we've got country. So I'm just dragging it up into there. And we've got city, dragging it into there. You can see the little plus sign. And it's in the wrong order. So how do we get it down? Well, the answer is it's not in the wrong order, it's in the right order. Currently, this is a folder, and the way it is presenting it is in alphabetical order. So we need to say that this folder shouldn't actually be a folder, it should be a hierarchy. But you can see clicking on this doesn't actually seem to have any effect. However, what we can do instead is create a hierarchy. So right and click on, I would start at the very top, so country, create hierarchy. And we're going to call this hierarchy hierarchy country. So let's drag this one out of the folder because the folder didn't work for us, and then we can drag in things into this hierarchy. So now we can drag in city. So let's delete that folder, remove folder. We can drag in state. Oh, you notice I've got state in the wrong place. No matter, we'll just drag it up. And then we've got postal code. Now notice the slight difference when you go into a hierarchy. You get this line, this greyish line showing you where it's going to go. So the answer is, as tempting as it is to create a folder for hierarchy, you don't actually do it that way. You click on the product and go to hierarchy and create hierarchy. You can now see I can add things to a particular hierarchy now one's been created. So let's create a genuine folder and we call these dates, and this is where we can drag the order date and the ship date into it. And then we can create a folder for customer information, and we can drag the name and the ID. And then we can do that with all the rest. This is a much better way of organizing information. And not only is it a better way, because it's now a hierarchy, I can drag the first item, country, in, and I can drag profit in. And now let's put profit down there so it's a bar chart. And now I can expand country. Remember that there was a photo, I think. And now I can expand the state. So I don't actually, as before, had to drag in state and city. Now we can use these expands and collapses like we can do for dates. So that is a really important way of organising your data and making your life easier. Now it helps if you do this at the beginning, but as you can see, I've done this in the middle and it's worked out perfectly well. So if you do it at the beginning, it might make your life a lot easier if you put things into folders, set up your hierarchies correctly. But personal preference, you might just want to do it when you get the need. Personally, I think it's important to do it at the beginning. It just makes your life a lot easier.